Right, so let's get this started. This is Dylan Jackson from Fake Hands.
The fakest of them all.
I'm Julio, your host, and Jordan Peters.
I'm Jordan's co-host.
And this is episode 5. So I'm very thankful for you being here today on a busy Saturday, right? Because you work in Pike Place Market, which is pretty crazy.
Out of downtown, all the 1975 fans.
Yeah. Did they play a show today or
They're
something?
playing tonight.
Oh,
so,
they are.
Yeah.
What do you think about that band?
I just haven't heard anything that has blown me away.
Me neither.
I feel like they're very mediocre, to be honest, and I don't get the appeal, but I've ran into people that love them to death.
What is that supposed to mean anyway? The 1975. What's so special about 1975 other than disco?
I mean, they're not even born, so.
They weren't even born.
That's true.
So I listened to your album, or your EP, self-titled EP, today all the way through, and I really, really dug it. In particular, I actually really liked The Straight and Narrow. So
Oh, yes.
I really like that one because we're all trying to like cut down on our vices and trying to figure shit out in life and just try to be sober or whatever, or I don't know, cut down some calories, try to live a straightforward life. But it's so hard when life is crazy and stressful and full-time work is like full-time work, and you have your passions on the side and you want to devote so much time to them, but then work pulls you out of it,
Right.
and all that stress just accumulates.
That's definitely a song where I got into a character. I like doing that. Where this guy is very braggadocious. He thinks he's all that and then some. He's talking like he's the king of the world. But obviously, as the song goes on, you feel like maybe this person's got some problems, especially during the punk break where I try to simulate him doing a line on the microphone, and then everything just goes crazy. So that's supposed to be him doing like a drug binge.
Oh shit.
And then he comes out of it, and then he says, I'm back on the straight and narrow. He's trying to do it again.
And it kind of reminds me of Snoop Dogg a little bit.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I just heard last night that he's back smoking weed again. And,
Right.
and then Bill Maher on his show, he was like, "Oh, come on, we all know you're just gonna come back to the team. You're just gonna. There's no way.
Yeah,
We don't take that shit seriously."
It's not Snoop Dogg, or he's not, his blood in his hand.
Because now he's saying it was a joke.
Yeah, because I saw an ad where he was bringing out one of those smokeless fire pits, and that's what he meant by giving up smoke.
No way.
So it's like all like an advertisement.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty genius though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the man knows how to market himself.
I mean, he's like the Gene Simmons of rap music.
Right. So I figured it was something to do with something about how he's got some new vape or edible or something that he's promoting, and he's just throwing this
with
out
Martha
there just
Stewart,
to
right?
shock
Martha
everyone.
Stewart's with
Yeah.
the wine. I think that's the 14 crimes, right?
I can see you being in front of a wine bottle.
I'm not much of a wine guy, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I had a wine phase back in like my early 20s.
I can't chug the shit down, but I do like some wine sometimes.
Mhm.
Very rarely, but I prefer Guinness.
Guinness.
I know a lot of people
Guinness.
don't like Guinness, but I like Guinness. It's smooth and creamy.
It's too thick for me. It's like eating a beer.
Really, I find porters to be that way. I feel
Mhm.
Guinness is kind of easier for me to drink down. And like for example, IPAs, I cannot do IPAs. I can drink them every now and then, but I can't. It's not my
That's
go-to.
why I drink water beer.
Water.
Yeah, because
Pabst. Very punk of you, right?
Rainier Pabst. Yeah.
You got Pabst running in your veins.
Right. Well, I learned from Dennis Hopper. Heineken's for pussies.
Mhm.
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
And then I got a lot of antisocial vibes from your music, which is something I am pretty fond of. Even though it gets me in fucking trouble. Has the music scene become more conformist than it leads on? Is what I wanted to ask you.
Well, I hope I don't get in trouble, but
Remember our conversation online? Remember that?
I'm like really tired of people. Like, I feel like the scene's coming back, and there's a lot of people just trying to beat the dead horse of like, it's gonna be grunge, and it's not gonna be grunge. It has to be something. There has to be some sort of evolution, because we can all. I'm sick of seeing all the flannel shirts. I'm sick of seeing the Kurt Cobain sunglasses. and don't post a picture of you with a Starbucks cup in front of Kurt Cobain's house, just
I
like
saw
Kurt
that.
Cobain. Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
That girl that took a picture. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a certain record label, I won't mention names, that prides itself on just booking or signing bands that are derivative of Nirvana.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, now I'm fucking curious. Maybe later on you can tell me.
Then there's a certain band that's been picking up steam that it's just, I'm like, isn't this just a Nirvana song? It's like AI Nirvana or something,
Man, what band is this? Damn it.
It's the opposite of like a moon. That's moon ditch. A moon ditch.
Sun something
like that.
Okay.
You can splash your gumboots in it.
So, are you not a fan of grunge?
I am a fan of grunge.
Just
I mean, part of why I love Seattle so much in the music scene was part of grunge, because I think Nirvana, not to be such normie and basic.
Right. I like Alice in Chains a lot.
Yeah, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden.
These are not so much Sound. I know everybody gets me with Chris Cornell, but I actually really, really prefer Alice in Chains. I love his vocals, and I don't know. I couldn't really connect on a deep level with Soundgarden.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but
That's right.
I don't hate him. I think Chris Cornell is a great singer, of course, but
as long as you don't say Pearl Jam.
Yeah, definitely don't like Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm speaking of which, Creed is back.
Oh my god.
But what were we talking about? Oh, grunge.
Can you take me higher?
Exactly.
Oh man, but you know what? I'm happy for him though. I'm happy for the guy. He went through some stuff. I think he was an alcoholic, severe alcoholic. His band was like stamped as a Christian band, and I always tell bands to not label themselves. If they're Christian, cool. If their lyrics are Christian, awesome. But once you label yourself a Christian band or something like that, I feel like you're gonna isolate a lot of fans. Oh, continue. No, it's cool. I don't mean to talk over you if I did, but there's like Whitechapel. I don't know if
they're Christian.
I'm pretty certain, yeah.
Oh wow.
And see, I feel like they did it kind of in a. I don't think they've really announced that they're a Christian band up front. Not too sure, but like for example, them. A lot of people still dig their music even though they're Christian. There's nothing wrong with being Christian. I'm not saying that, but it's just like, in my opinion, I think it does isolate bands a little bit.
I mean, it has limitations, especially on lyrical content.
Yeah.
I mean, when I had the first Creed album when I was a kid, and I didn't know they were a Christian band until someone pointed it out.
What I was going to is the members deny that at first, I think. So I'm not 100% sure if they are a Christian band.
Same with
their lyrics.
Yeah.
Their lyrics pretty much scream Christian to me.
Well, it's wild to me because people really liked Alter Bridge. That was the band that happened without Scott Stapp, and they got Miles Kennedy, who's known as like one of the best vocalists in the current day. He sings for like Slash and The Conspiracy or whatever the hell it's called.
Really?
But back to the whole grunge thing.
Yeah.
And the future of Seattle. I'm really liking this whole noise punk kind of. I guess you just call it punk. There's also like some great bands out in town. Love Always Naked. We got the Black Tones. You got Aaron Jones and the Movement. There's the Steel Beans open for Tool.
I booked Steel Beans a long time ago at the Mirkwood. I think I booked them a couple of times. Nobody would go to the shows, and nobody would pay attention to them. And I was like, "Are you kidding me? This guy's amazing. Yeah. He's playing the drums and the guitar and singing at the same time, and playing it, mind you, like with some like amazing focus." So when this is what I'm saying with social media. Sometimes social media is a good thing. TikTok, I think, was what kind of just catapulted him into stardom.
Yeah,
and I was just like so proud. I was so happy for him, and it's just he deserves it more than anybody.
He's very talented.
He's so talented. Yeah, so that was really cool to see. A local Everett to open up for Tenacious D. Holy shit! And Tool,
and also was on stage for Stone Temple Pilots when they opened for Smashing Pumpkins. They brought him out, apparently.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I gotta see that.
That was recently then, huh?
Yeah, that was recent.
Oh yeah, I did not see that. That's cool. Wow.
But yeah, those are just bands I'm mentioning that have been making a splash in Seattle. Another thing I want to point out is what's even stronger in the Seattle scene is DIY scene. Like they're having shows under the bridge in like Fremont.
Really?
I think it was Fremont. They're under some bridge. I know that. And
if it's Fremont, that'd be dope.
Yeah, and all the DIY like house venues that are going on, and like Real Art Tacoma and stuff.
I went to a show a long time ago. One of my favorite bands, the Loss. I have them tattooed on my neck. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with them. I'd go to every single show.
There she goes, there she goes again.
No, it was a hardcore band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. They're called The Loss.
I thought you said The Laws.
Yeah. No, not The Loss. Sorry. In fact, actually, I got a whole closet full of shirts, local bands that I booked.
Nice.
And I just kept them, and that's what I wear. Like the Wild Wolves were one of my favorite bands when I was a kid. When I was younger, one of my first bands I ever booked. But I went to this DIY show for The Lost, and it was like in this broken down house. It was so cool. Like the stairs were all broken, and like in the middle there's like the band playing on the floor. I love that. I love it when bands play on the floor. I personally prefer to play on the floor.
I always
than the stage.
Most
I don't know why.
Most of the time I'm always on the floor. And I asked for the longest.
Recovering from jumping over the speakers. Or...
I ask for the longest microphone cord possible, and I'll weave myself to the audience and jump on people's tables.
What if you get one of those
wireless?
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like because I like.
Why don't you get one of those things you buy?
Oh yeah. Like I need some choreographed dance moves and do like robot. But I also like swinging the microphone around. And then,
yeah, for real. Yeah, that is fun.
Or like choking myself with it. Kind of stuff.
Cool. I've seen your live performances and I'm so stoked. It's
like a playground.
That's what most people love about you is I've noticed is like they're like, man, they rock. Their performance was just so sick because bands are just standing there playing their music.
Right.
But a lot of it is what you can do on stage, right? Like what kind of attention you can, but you do it like naturally. You just let yourself go.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you need to do.
I've
really cool.
only had one venue that was like, you can't do that.
Yeah, I remember that. Skylark?
Not mentioning any names.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Skylark let us do it.
I think I know which one.
Okay. All right.
I won't say.
Okay.
I won't say.
They recently put up
this actually is a good lead-in into my next question. Actually, perfect is cancel culture. Being afraid of what you say, what you mention, and not it's scary nowadays. You have to kind of walk on eggshells, even on social media. Like you can basically there's a herd mentality out there where if you say the wrong thing or you believe in the wrong thing, you're not part of the status quo. And it's all about who you'll get your music on air. It's crazy. It's like if I had a public radio, I would allow my enemy to whoever if I had something wrong with somebody, I would, if their music is great, whatever. There's a lot of people out there that I don't like that has great music.
It makes for a more interesting conversation. What I've been experiencing, especially in this political climate, is people creating echo chambers for themselves, and I don't think it's healthy.
Yep.
Where it's like, I need to have everyone on my social media agree with me at all times. I don't want any debate, and it's not healthy because.
Yeah, what are you doing commenting on my post? Do you understand that it's a public forum?
Right. Exactly.
That's what social media was supposed to be, is that you talk to people. And I think social media is great on one hand, and it's also very toxic on the other.
Mm-hmm.
And I think as humans, we're still trying to figure out a good balance.
Well,
I don't know I think MySpace was really good and healthy, actually. I thought MySpace was a good fucking.
That's the throwback, right?
I really do, because
that was the original thing, and that's how a lot of people really share their music online.
Yeah.
Back then. Sometimes I like to think about what if we just got rid of everything? Like we got rid of Twitter or X, we got rid of Facebook, we got rid of Instagram, and let's just all start back with none of it from just a pure slate.
Don't worry, X is getting rid of itself at this point.
That's true.
I think because kids polled about like what they want to be when they grow up. It used to be cowboy, astronaut, cop, whatever. And now what people want to be are influencers. It's not even about like a YouTube creator. It's like, I want to be.
You want to be famous.
Influence. Yeah. And that's why they tend to make these posts that are just so like milk toast and like bland, like what did everyone have for Thanksgiving dinner? You know?
I get shit on for just spreading my own views, and then there's those people who are like, man, I really appreciate you sharing your views on whatever and openly.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, man, why are you so negative? I'm like, I'm not. I'm just like, I like to not really stir the pot, but I like to just start a discussion, a healthy one.
Right.
Like, what's your take on this issue? And just people that just get angry. They just get so angry. They feel comfortable to get angry because they feel, oh, I can be a complete asshole behind my screen and not confront this person.
Right.
But I'm the kind of person I'm like, yo, I'm going to confront you.
And there's
there's
also the aspect. I mean, I don't really like the term virtue signaling, but there's definitely like, oh, I know that this post is unpopular and that people are not going to like it, so I'm going to write something in the comment section like, you can't say that, and you got to stand up for about this, and this is how you're supposed to act. And then like they'll DM you like, I totally agree with you.
I bet that happened. Bodacious.
Yeah. I just can't say it. Oh,
man, what is that? Holy
shit. Wait a second. Hey man, surprise.
Who is that?
Looks like NMAC over here.
Oh God. Surprise!
Oh yeah,
that was a surprise, by the way. You totally forgot about that, didn't you?
Another band that's taken over is NMAC over here, talking about Seattle scene. Wow.
Yeah, I was like,
you jumped so fucking hard.
What? I was like, where'd that music come from? It doesn't seem like a very.
Dude, that speaker is loud, by the way.
It's loud. Oh
my God,
guys!
Hey, there's some beers in the fridge.
Beers.
Yeah. Yeah, so as he's getting his beers, I just wanted to say that was my little surprise for you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I know you guys are good friends, and me and Noah have been hanging out a lot. He's contributing to a lot of music stuff with me, and he's just been really good support. I call him my big bro for a reason. Sorry for keeping you in the closet for so long.
It was so fucking hot in there. I was like, oh my God, I'm turning red.
I was waiting for that word to come in, and I was like, okay.
What's up?
I'm like, how am I gonna say bodacious in a chill way?
Did I miss it? Continue interview.
No problem.
I'm not stealing your sunshine. I will say that I'm a big part of this guy's success. Not really.
I think wasn't that our first show was with a previous band.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
You know, I made it a thing where I was gonna wear his Born Below shirt. I wear his old band shirts on every single episode almost.
Oh, hey,
but I'm like, I'm gonna change it up this time.
Fire.
I just wear dredge.
It's like an Easter egg, I guess.
Yep.
There's a small handful of people that want that band to come back.
When I went to England, I wore his shirts everywhere. I was like, just showing
They're
it
good
off.
fucking shirts.
Yeah,
hey,
they're
I
sick
still have
shirts.
your shirt, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I actually will need a shirt, Dylan. I need to buy one.
Dude, his new designs are sick.
Yeah, we got
zombie hand shit.
We got 2 new shirts coming out. We haven't had merch for a little bit because we've had some band lineup changes. So,
well, tell us about that.
Our original bass player Levi Graves moved to Virginia with his fiancee to start a family.
Right.
And then we have a new drummer as well. He moved all the way from Nashville. He's a session drummer.
Oh wow!
And he always wanted to move out of Nashville because he was just tired of the country shit.
Oh, I think I saw that post about that.
But actually, this is a good opportunity to explain how I even got in the band.
Mm-hmm.
So I had quit a band called Emotional Trash, which is still on Spotify. You can check it out. And I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done with music. I'm done with the drama. I'm done with all like trying to put 110% and getting nothing back. I'm sick of it.
Really?
I'm going to do comedy. That didn't go so well.
You did stand up?
I think you're fucking hilarious.
Thank you.
You did stand up comedy.
You did?
Yeah, but I was doing like open mics and it's like, you can't really, unless you go to a comedy open mic, and I have. But this one day I was coming back from Tacoma. I was visiting my daughter. And my roommate was like, hey, can you drum for me at the Daryl's open mic? I'm like, okay, I guess so. And I went down there and I ran into Levi, and he's like, it's so strange that you're here, because I was just mentioning to the guys that were auditioning for a singer. Do you want to audition? And he showed me some of the songs, and I'm like, oh yeah, I understand like the direction and what they want, because he auditioned and they said he sang too much. And they just want, and I guess the selling point is like, oh yeah, this guy jumped off the stage at the Central Saloon into a garbage can. You're like, that's the guy. So I went to audition, and it kind of just clicked. It was pretty amazing. Like, I didn't even have any lyrics. I just kind of showed up and just started yelling, and that's what it's like. Yeah, when I start singing too much, like, can you tone it back? Yeah,
Can you jump in the garbage can?
Yeah. A bit more raw, please.
Very cool. I want to get to the next question real quick. It's kind of funny, the timing. I checked, got this in the mail. Is it Animal and the Sniffers?
Animal and the Sniffers, yes.
Okay. I just shout out to them. I just got their album. It's been a long time since I was super impressed with the band. To the point where I bought their album like right away.
Mm-hmm.
So I did want to talk about how when I listened to this and I listened to your album, I couldn't help to imagine a show where you guys open for me.
I mean, that'd be
sick.
That would be incredible.
I think that would be awesome.
Make it happen.
Honestly. Yeah, make it happen, please. So what do you think about that? What do you
I mean, that's one of my favorite current bands right now.
Cool.
Actually, Amy is kind of like an influence on my stage moves, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
She has a sick stage presence.
Yeah, she's
my God.
I don't know if she's just high on cocaine every night or what, but it just never stops.
Yeah, maybe
it just keeps moving and jumping and. Last time when I saw him at the Crocodile, people like throwing like shirts and stuff on, and she just put them on and put on a hat. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
You got to let yourself go and just be yourself on stage, right? And that's what you do, and that's what the correlation there. You saw that, Like, I just thought that was a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they don't overthink their music; they just go out and they just rock. And just.
Have you guys had a chance to listen to this album?
I haven't yet.
I think Jorge was pushing on. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Jorge loves.
He's a super fan. Yeah.
He wants to marry her.
Yes. Well.
He's not the only one, right? So the song "Security," I gotta say, it's my favorite. I fucking love that song. I heard it when I first heard it. It was playing in my head, like over and over again, and I'm like, yep, that one's my favorite. And then Hurts.
Yeah, those are two singles great. Off the album too.
Pretty good.
My favorite song from them is actually just a single. It's not on any album. It's just called. It's "Some Mutts Can't Be Muzzled."
I heard that one. That was great.
Title.
That was a good one. Yep. And then
I especially like when she goes woof woof.
So real quick, any upcoming gigs that we should be aware of?
I'm not supposed to announce anything.
Not yet.
No. But our next gig will be on January 15th.
Okay, that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Can we know what general vicinity maybe?
Are
you playing in Everett anytime soon?
We just played Everett.
Oh, at the
Back to Local 3 at Tony B's Garage.
How did that go?
It was pretty good. I mean,
Taylor Court is a good guy.
Yeah, we got a bit of a mosh pit going, a bit of some hardcore dancing going.
Yeah, I saw the live footage, and I was kind of confused with the hardcore dancing.
It's kind of a mix between moshing and hardcore dancing. That night we were definitely like the softest band.
Really? We might as well for this band too, right?
Oh, I mean, they're like, it's like, hey, we're so happy that you brought the energy and got everyone riled up. But yeah, the next one is at one of the best venues in Shoreline.
Okay. Oh, I think I know.
Right. Oh, that's Linwood.
No, that's not. Yeah, no.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not. I shouldn't say anything.
No.
All right. Hey, we can always edit
actually. Please do.
Well, I mean, if you
this is why you're here.
If you want to be paid in gift certificates, I mean, it's all good. I guess.
I booked 3 shows there.
It
was the most chaotic experience of my life. I booked Thomas Eric from the Fall Troy. There.
Oh God.
Solid show. It was fantastic. Luckily that one worked out perfect. And then the next couple of shows, like there was no security guard. there was no system,
Mhm.
like system, like a process in which things go. It was just chaos. And there was just a bunch of people just going in for free. And I'm like, how are the bands going to get paid? I mean, like, excuse me,
Right.
because I have a certain way of doing things when I was booking shows. I booked shows for 12 years and I combined the philosophy of the house show with the venue.
Mm.
All I expect the bands to do is to help in promotion. And what I do is I put online tickets and then basic, door fee if they don't do that.
Mhm.
It worked out beautifully. Like when I was booking at Black Lab, every show was successful. Every band made at least $100, at least. So that system I think carried on. I'm seeing a lot of shows now that they follow that. So I'm kind of happy. I'm kind of happy I planted that seed. I'm not going to take full credit for it, but I do see the style of how they promote the shows with just like how they create the events on Facebook. I'm like, man, that looks a lot like my how I used to do it. Cool. Cool. I'm glad.
Someone's taking the reins. That's for
Yeah, that's really all I care about is that somebody's continuing. I don't know that legacy that I started with Sean Pennington, my dear friend. We were called JS Promotions first. Yeah, he would he would haul in the equipment and set it up in a coffee shop, and we would book shows. It was so hardcore, where to the point I would print and cut out the tickets because I was a kid. I was like 20. And I would hand them out to the bands and be like, okay, go sell them.
Right.
That's always fun.
Yeah. And then the shows were great. I'm like, man, I'm kind of good at this. And eventually it got better. I mean, there was a lot of failures to the point where I'm like, man, I don't know if I can do this. But eventually, and I got pretty good at it. And it's an art form, booking shows.
Yes.
And people have very little patience for talent buyers.
I hate that
You know what I'm
that terminology, talent buyer. I
Really?
mean,
I don't like promoters.
That's
I
a
don't
gross term.
yeah.
I don't like being called promoter. I like being called talent buyer.
I've never heard that.
Because
Yeah.
I spent my money on buying the bands, right?
Yeah,
On the
but
headliners.
there's talent buyers
They're different than promoters.
actually in the area. Not naming names.
Okay.
Shh.
I think I might know who.
But I mean, people that don't even live in Seattle, talent buying for venues. I mean, and if I think if you're gonna book a show and this is your your livelihood and you're just not gonna show up or promote it, you're just the talent buyer. I mean, I don't think that's right, to be honest, because I've had people write emails to me if there was a bad show, not with this band. This band's always been.
I booked 2 shows on the same night.
Mhm.
I booked 2 shows on the same night. I have to disagree with you on that one, because I booked 2 shows on the same night.
It can't be everywhere.
Exactly. I would make it to. I would try to make it to every show because I know that was respectful, but it was exhausting. I'll tell you what, because I was booking Monday through Friday almost.
Okay, yeah.
So you can't. That cannot be expected every time. The venue and the guys that run the door should be in coordination with the in-talks and good communication with the talent buyer, whoever the hell it is who booked that night, and have systems in place for success.
Mm-hmm.
The promoter doesn't have to be there. It's just the system has to be, right? And the way that some venues do it, which I really do like, is they have their own talent buyer or they hire on. That's a good way to do it. But when you're your own entity, like I was, like a private contractor, basically, it was kind of hard to navigate how each and every single venue did their own thing. And try to mold them into the Vessel, for example, didn't really do what the Mirkwood did, or didn't do what Tony's V did. It was different. But my years in Mirkwood was amazing. They were great to me. What other venue? Black Lab was cool.
Yeah.
For how or a year, it lasted like a year. But
I mean, but can you say it'd be nice if someone was a talent buyer for a venue that they'd be living in the same vicinity,
like the same state?
at least?
Oh, fuck yeah, of course.
I mean,
of course,
you gotta have
yeah.
some sort of finger on the pulse at some point.
Of course, yeah. There is my mentor that he worked at Studio 7 when I was a kid. He was amazing. He was, packing that place every night.
Mm.
And then he had a disagreement with rest in peace, Tracy Moody.
Mm-hmm.
I love that guy. I mean, he was great to me. And in fact, tomorrow's his memorial. I'm gonna go and check that out. So, but anyway, he moved over to El Corazon, and then he was booking in Portland and Seattle and Bellingham, I think.
Okay.
So it's like he didn't really he was at his shows for the most part because I was like getting mentored by him. I would ask him questions. I went out and posted flyers with him. Like, how do you do this? I was a little kid. I was like, how do you do this? How do you get into this? And I'm really thankful for that guy. But he wasn't at every single show, but for the most part, he was. He did try.
Right.
So there's guys like him, right? Is that good enough for you? Do you think?
I mean, you can try your best. I mean, things may not, be available. Everyone gets tired. You want to take a rest. I just have this inclination that I would want to like book the shows I want to see, and then I want to see all the shows. But I mean, things happen. Obviously, it's like being a sports fan. I mean, you can't see all the same. You can't see every game sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a high expectation with talent buyers in that regard sometimes too. Because I was one, so I've been brought through the ringer. You know what I mean? And the spotlight's on you. Like you're the guy that to go to for all the blame if one little thing goes off.
Right.
Now, there's talent buyers that don't pay bands, okay? And I don't even call those talent buyers. I call those schemers, scammers. And I'm not gonna name them, but it's kind of sad because I've known him since those days of me playing at Studio 7, and he, I would go as far as saying he's an acquaintance. He's a nice guy, but whoever gave him the opportunity or the job to book bands was at fault because I feel like you're giving all this like responsibility to someone who doesn't really know exactly how the business is run.
Right.
So like whoever gave him the keys to the door.
Yeah. I
mean, come on, man.
And you want artists to come back too.
Yeah.
Well, no one's gonna. If someone has a bad experience at a show or they think they got ripped off, they're not gonna play there again.
Yeah. And then your pool of bands to pull from is going to get smaller and smaller because less and less are going to want to play again with you. There's a lot of bands that are just like, whatever, we'll just play just for the heck of it. But that's something I've ran into as well, where it's just.
I started TNR with the idea of getting rid of pay-to-play tickets.
Yeah.
I'd never liked that idea. But in venues in Seattle, like where the overhead is so expensive, I don't blame them. I guess it's not really their fault. It's a trickle-down system, I think.
Right. Yeah, it came. We kind of, as a band, decided that we weren't going to do any pay to play unless we were opening for somebody that was a big band.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, when there's a real draw besides yourselves.
Yeah,
that's going to be helpful and
but
actually work out better for you.
If you keep playing those shows, though, you kill your fan base.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just gets stifling and annoying. Like, go to my show, pay for this ticket every time.
Right.
It's as a fan, it's like it's exhausting. It's like, man, I went to your last show. Come on, give me a break.
Yeah. It kind of depends on how frequently you're inviting the same people.
Right, and then the question of overplaying.
Yep. That's
it's a tricky deal.
When I released my album Discordia, I played one show. And it was packed, and that was enough for me.
Well,
I don't like playing shows that much anymore. I like making music and being happy with it. I don't, there's a lot of like pleasing, and then leads into my next question. Do you think that there's a lot of ass kissing involved when it comes like, is it like high school to be in a band? When it comes to the music scene, is there a lot of having to deal with herd mentality? If one person doesn't like you and they spread a rumor about you, for example, because I know we've talked about this before, you've been canceled by people. I just want to know briefly the experience that involves with the music, with making music.
Well, as a loudmouth myself,
I
tend to get into trouble, but there hasn't been any circumstance where the band's like, "Hey, you need to tone it down." Because I'm not blasting any of my opinions on the band page at all. I keep the band page very professional, and I'm not the only one that controls the band page. But as far as my voice is concerned, I'm going to speak what's on my mind. And yes, I've had some altercations with people at venues that are like, yeah, I'm never booking you again or whatever. But
okay.
I mean, if they're being assholes, they're being assholes. And then I'm probably being an asshole, so this is a nice party of assholes, I guess.
Yeah, like I think that some people don't understand that people grow and change.
Mm.
Like they like to cancel you over something you did 10 fucking years ago.
Right.
It's like, come on, man. So we're not all perfect, and you're not perfect either.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, as a booker, and you know, and how it reflects with music, and I was blessed with a lot of people to be supportive. Like in the scene, there isn't just that. There's a lot of great people who are there for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of my friends I met because of music. Like Noah, I met Noah because of music. I met Jordan because I met him at one of the very first shows that I ever booked.
That's right.
At an art gallery. Remember I was just telling you about with tickets?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I think you played with these guys, with the Wild Wolves, maybe. Medic.
I don't think that was us.
Oh, you're good. Have you ever heard of these guys?
I'm hearing about them now.
You really should check them
I
out.
should check
They're
it out.
really
There's
good.
a lot of
I don't know. I don't think they're still a
talent,
band anymore, but they were amazing.
Mhm.
So let's see. How are we doing time, Jordan?
We're at about 30 minutes.
Noah, did you want to say anything? You want to ask Dylan anything?
No.
What he's wearing?
What he's wearing? No, man. It's just good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Nice to see you.
Well, this concludes episode 5, you guys. I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, and let's. I know you can't really go into details about your most upcoming shows, but anything that you'd like people to look forward to?
Yeah,
anything in the works?
We should be back in the studio in January. We're working on some new tunes. We were going to record 3 songs in December, but or was it November? It was last month.
Your self-titled, is that your only release so far?
So far.
Okay.
Yes.
I just want to make sure.
But now we're working on some new stuff as well. So
Great.
Exciting.
Great.
Is it gonna? What's any? You have any featured artists on there? Anybody coming in?
I think we mainly just do it ourselves, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay.
Gonna go record with Michael Springer again at Peel Studios.
Ooh! Shout out to him.
Yes,
he's a
shout out
good.
to
He's a good
Michael.
dude. He's all like, "Hey, come get recorded on mine in my studio." Yeah, every single band gets on Loud and Local.
He's getting a little cocky.
Yeah. No,
I love him though.
No, he's a nice dude.
He recorded our first single for Dredge.
Mm.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. Yeah.
He's a very nice dude, actually. So, yeah, he does sound at Daryl's too, right?
Yes, he is. And Daryl's.
For people who aren't as familiar with you, what's the best way to find you and find your music?
We're on all major streaming platforms. You can check us out on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, whoever uses that. I've never really heard of it.
Deezer?
Yeah, there's one called Deezer.
Yeah, there it is.
More like Dee's Nuts.
SoundCloud.
Not SoundCloud.
No?
No.
Amazon?
Amazon, probably,
Yeah.
We
What
got
about iHeartRadio?
Bandcamp.
probably Bandcamp, yep. We got stuff on YouTube.
There you go.
Just type in Fake Hands.
You gotta type in Fake Hands Band.
Band.
Yeah,
Right.
because I've typed in Fake Hands and it doesn't go the right.
You know, I actually, really quick, can I ask you about streaming services? What do you think about streaming services versus the old school way of getting your band out there, like the radio station kind of old school way? What do you think about those two differences? You think Spotify is kind of like we should be paying attention to more? Because I saw it today, a post my friend made
Mhm.
that kind of goes with what I was saying. That we should be supporting things like Bandcamp where people can legitimately sell their product
Right.
and get most of their royalties. Spotify is just, I'm sorry, I hate Spotify.
Right,
I don't get why people like Spotify. I don't understand
It's
it.
just convenient.
It's cheap.
And the problem with
Bandcamp's free though, isn't it?
I know Bandcamp is free. You pay what you like. But the problem, I guess, with
It's convenient.
people is that Spotify has become like the business card of the music industry.
Oh my god.
And if you don't have Spotify, it's almost like you don't exist.
That's
And
true.
you know, we're
God damn it.
we're not putting
You
music on.
gotta sell your soul.
We're not putting
Yeah.
music on Spotify to get paid. Unfortunately, it's more like this is where we can
And
find it.
It's so funny because I was just out of because I did it through this website where they put your shit out on all the streaming services, right? Whatever, and it was like, congratulations, you have 4 listeners. There, I'm like, oh, fuck off. I sold $4,000 worth of albums right on
Mhm.
my own through Bandcamp. Thank you, Bandcamp. honestly.
Right. Yes.
Bandcamp is awesome. And then I sold them off fucking CDs, bro. I took them to Guatemala and sold them there.
Are you like that dude like on the corner? Buy my CD, buy my CD.
Yeah.
Support local hip hop. Support local hip
You
hop.
gotta sign it too.
Here, free CD. And then
No,
you
actually-
go and jump on 4 5
Actually, Discordia was really fucking cool, man. People just supported me because, they haven't heard me release anything for fucking years. And so it's pretty cool.
Rare, yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, we've been played in 31 countries, and I'm like, what?
You guys are big in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Well,
Canada, bro.
yeah, it was. I mean, the U.S., Canada, Australia. Speaking of animal and sniffers, the U.K. and Germany
Okay.
are top 5.
Yeah.
Germany sounds cool. Like,
Yeah, the Germany, they're cool. They got their finger on the pulse.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a rock there. Yeah, that's a rock in Germany.
do you think that? Because I heard that you can buy streamers, you can buy listeners.
Hmm.
I was looking up online. There's actually ways to do that.
Yeah, we don't do that. I don't even know how to do that.
There's
Is that like that's?
Spot of stats or some shit?
Well, that's kind of like the thing where you can buy followers, you can buy likes, you can buy all that stuff. It's all bots. It's all obviously fake.
And that's my
but-
concern with Spotify is that
Yeah,
they're
it's-
telling you
it's
can
not
listen
worth
to,
it, right.
but it's not real. It's not the truth. That's what kind of I'm worried about.
I don't know. I don't
To make money is what I'm saying. A fucking sham. Is what I'm
Well,
saying.
if we put money into it, there'd be way more than 31 countries.
Well,
Yeah.
what I'm speculating, it's like a conspiracy theory, right?
Right.
Like, hear me out. Like, what if Spotify is just trying to like, wouldn't they get in some deep trouble for that shit though? If it was that,
I mean,
They were-
you think so because sometimes you book a band and a lot of people pay attention to these numbers, and it's like, oh, they have over 1,000
no way,
followers, right?
man.
Yeah, for real.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
God.
And then
Right.
and then
like how many Facebook followers you have.
Yeah, and then
what's
the
your draw?
the band shows up and like they brought 2 people.
Yeah.
That's my
What's
point.
your pull?
But yeah, the
What's your
truth will
That is
eventually
exactly
reveal
my
itself.
point right
Yeah.
there. Is like, there's this guy that I know, right, that has like 1 billion followers,
Mhm.
and he'll play a show nobody goes to. Nobody goes to the show.
Mhm.
Right.
So my thing is, I think that I think streaming is awesome, but I think that we should really, really pay attention to and really, really help out the ones that actually do help, like Bandcamp and things like that,
Right.
where it's ours, we own it. You know what I'm saying? Like for fucking leftists in Seattle for being so socialist, they should really support Bandcamp versus Spotify, which is a corporate
they
fucking
should.
capital bullshit.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
I'm guilty as charged using Spotify.
There's a bit of hypocrisy in the air, I feel.
It's convenient. I mean, there should be laws.
Inconvenience, right? Yeah.
There should be laws.
Convenience for art.
that they should pay their artists fairly, because now it's like if you don't get 1,000 streams, you don't get nothing.
Yeah.
So,
I'm on the side of just leave Spotify and go to Bandcamp. Let's support those guys.
well, they're gonna.
That's what I'm
Well,
thinking.
what if like artists like all like took their shit off there, and forced Spotify to like pay more to bands? Like, what if there was like a what do you call that? Like a strike,
A boycott.
a boycott?
yeah.
Yeah, like to make them, because I mean,
That would be very hard to do.
if enough people stood by it, man,
I would stand by it for sure.
it would be cool. It would be cool, but I don't see it happening. But I would.
When I because we're gonna on my little electronic thing that I got going, we're gonna release it really soon. I saw that one of the options was to release it on Spotify.
Mhm.
I was so tempted to
Just say
just
no.
no, and then I'm like, oh, might as well. It's convenient.
Yeah.
Well, it's just
Who's
you
the
gotta
hypocrite
get
now?
your shit out there.
Who's the
right?
hypocrite now, right?
Yeah. Just put it out
I don't
everywhere.
know.
Regardless of how you feel about whichever streaming service, you really just have to meet the requests of people who ask how to find you, and more often than not, I'll hear asked, "Is your music on Spotify?"
That's exactly what I was saying about a business card kind of aspect.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
if you're legit.
Unfortunately, the way that we make money is through merch and through door sales.
Wow.
So, and there's some nights that we sell more merch than we do off the door. So,
Mhm.
Do you understand my enthusiasm for Bandcamp?
yeah, of course. I mean, Bandcamp is the best thing out
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
I mean, hopefully they don't dismantle it because there's a bunch of talk about
Oh
changing.
fuck no! I hope not. Yeah.
because they got bought and they laid off a bunch of people.
It's so funny when you have something out there that actually makes
Helps
a musician money
Mm-hmm.
is not what the musicians are
Yeah,
using.
so you gotta hope like they don't turn into a subscription service.
Mm.
The power of promotion, I think, maybe too, is involved with Spotify. It's just in your face all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they've indoctrinated a bunch of bands into thinking this is the way to go. This is the way you need to do things in order to make it, and it's ironically not.
Yeah.
Ironically, it's bullshit. It's a sham.
I
Part
hear-
sham, part not, maybe.
I mean, I hear it's all about TikTok, really.
TikTok
and Spotify.
Yeah. Oh, so you have to be an influencer, huh?
I'm kind of, yeah. Yeah. I can't remember who the artist was, but they said, yeah, we're not releasing your single unless you make like one TikTok a day.
Mm.
About that.
I don't know if this is the band or the artist you're thinking of, but I saw that the band Florence and the Machine, they have a TikTok, and pretty much all their TikTok videos are them just complaining about having to have a TikTok. Like, the label doesn't care what the TikToks are.
No.
They're just like, you just need to keep doing them and this frequently. So
I'm only
they're
here
like,
because I got
well,
fined.
all right, we want to stay on our label, so
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, speaking of paying for plays or influence, I knew a guy that he actually. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people do this. They pay for someone to post for them.
Yeah,
What?
Yeah, like paying someone to take care of your social media.
Oh,
Like a manager type shit.
Yeah,
well, if you have the money for it, yeah, but
If you're big.
This guy was paying this one guy in New York to post 3 times a day, and he had specific times where he was told that it's the highest usage of when people are on the internet, and that's when the post came out.
okay, yeah.
So
I was approached by somebody who wanted me to be their manager, and I'm like, this is not how it works anymore.
it's a lot of work, and dude, I get home from work and I'm just like, I don't want to post anything.
Dude, I see you posting all the fucking
Well,
time.
I'm posting.
What the
but
fuck are you talking
it's
about?
like
yeah, you post.
posting about.
Well, just divert that
promotion.
energy to your band, maybe.
Maybe.
I gotcha.
There's always something pissing me off.
No, I'm sorry, but I think that has to do with a lot of your status right now. I think it's your post, dude.
Mm.
Yeah, your posts. I can tell you're liberal, so your posts are very, very aligned with what Seattle thinks, right? And you hit all the hit all the points, you hit all the marks, you get people riled up in the good way.
Oh, I mean,
And then as soon as there's one guy, me, who disagrees, then it just it just fucking explodes into anger and hatred.
Tend to be a bit of it's like a roller derby.
But dude, it just takes one post
yeah,
to just.
people think I'm like super serious all the time too. They don't get that there's some humor in it too.
So what I was gonna also add was your posts are great because you like like myself, you don't care. You lay it on you lay your cards on the table and come what may, and you don't care. And I love that. And then when you get approached by people, you're kind and you're open to their ideas. You hear their ideas out. So my conversations with you, you've seen me go from being pissed off to happy but you've always been collected, and that's what the music scene needs, is somebody that's
There you go.
collected.
Yeah,
So, congratulations on that.
At the very least, I mean, it gives people something to think about.
Yeah.
If you say something that's totally absolutist, and like, well, I don't like that, or maybe I do, it gets people talking, and I think people just need to communicate a little bit more instead of like, raging on the internet.
It's crazy. Some people think that they're just right and nobody else is.
Right.
They're the right. They're the only way. And I'm guilty as charged for that shit, because social media makes you look in like somebody else. Like, it's an avatar. Honestly, it's just an avatar.
Mm-hmm.
It's a person that I don't know. I don't think inner thoughts and opinions about things were meant to be exposed to the world.
Well, remember you're talking about like, have I ever had to like kiss someone's ass? I've had quite like, don't you know who that is you're talking to? I'm like,
You've had that?
yeah.
Oh my god.
Or I used to book bands 20 years ago, and they're all on KS.
Oh, I saw that post.
Yeah, and I'm like,
that lady.
okay, I don't give a
The anti-vax lady.
yeah, like,
Oh,
I don't give a fuck. Or like, don't you know that guy's in a so and so's band? I'm like,
Wait. So what was that about though? Because all I saw was this lady talking about vaccines.
it was just like someone saying, "Oh, I don't usually go to Seattle anymore." And it's really changed, which it has, obviously.
She just randomly commented that on your post?
No, it wasn't on my post. It was on someone else's post. And it was just all these people, like maybe like in their 40s or 50s, just saying how Seattle is just, it's not what it used to be. And there's no music scene. And there's like basically no one's talented anymore. And I was just like,
That's a big generalization.
Yeah. So I was trying to explain.
That's very old, cranky, like boomer type.
No, I was mentioning names that were like popping off in Seattle and like about the DIY venues, and they basically like, you know, oh, you're just a kid and you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm so important because I booked all these bands and I'm really successful, but I don't know what the hell's
Don't
going
you know
on
who I
anymore.
am? I work at Staples.
Right.
Starbucks.
No, this is funny because I was, in my day job, I'm a social worker. I was visiting a client, and there was this lady who works there. She was telling me a story about how she had an angry customer. It was at a grocery store. She was telling me that the lady got pissed off, and she was like, "Don't you know I work at Staples?" Or I'm a manager at Staples, is what she said. I'm like, okay, really?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna pull that card out like you're some sort of
Use
celebrity.
the Staples card.
Yeah. Celebrity.
Mhm.
Just going off that. Just kind of, it's kind of lame how social media it has promoted just tribal mentality and echo chambers, like you were saying. Yeah, like you were saying. As you get older, I feel I've had moments where I'm like, this is all garbage. Fuck this. I'm like, whoa. And I got to look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, dude, what the fuck am I talking? I was a kid like 10 years ago.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you, how old are you? Are you 30? 37? I'm 32.
Old enough.
Okay, because
he's old enough to party.
The reason I asked is because you were talking about how that lady was 40 and 50, and you're like, oh my god.
I mean, I'm not exactly like a young guy.
Okay, you guys similar age?
Maybe.
Okay. Oh, fuck off. I know how old you are.
I mean, there comes in a time when you turn off that.
Who cares how old you are, right?
Music industry.
The music industry cares.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, there's so many artists out there where they're like, oh yeah, they're 24 and then they're actually like 32.
People often believe just what you tell them.
Yeah, they try to make it.
They're not going to make you prove it.
Way to put him on the spot, dude.
Hey man, no, it's because of that lady saying, and he was talking about how she was 40 and 50 and how I'm like, aren't you like 40?
Well,
you're not 50, but
I mean it's just 40. I don't like
57.
They all fucking defensive. People get so easily offended with the age thing. I don't understand ageism.
He was around Pearl
I
Harbor.
really don't. Ageism is so stupid. Like, the Biden thing. He's too old. Like, yo, Bernie was younger than he was. Okay? And you guys are bitching about him. Right? Everybody was. He was like, he's too old. I'm like, he's old. You know what it was? He was old looking.
Old looking. Oh yeah.
More old looking than Biden was.
At least he could form a sentence.
Now we got Diet Coke Bernie, right? Anyway, we're not going there. But what I'm saying is, I don't think anymore that there's an age where you automatically fall into that whole boomer type of attitude anymore. I think that being 30 is like now being like in your 20s because.
Yeah, it's just if you get to the point where you say that nothing's good anymore, I think that's like the cutoff.
That's where you need to fucking.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the internet. I mean, you can find so many like great bands might necessarily not be on the radio.
You're just an antisocial dirtbag if you're saying everybody sucks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's been successes for like LCD Sound System. The guy didn't get signed until he was 40.
Mm-hmm.
There's what's the comedian the original comedian from the original Office.
Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais.
Your hero.
Oh my god.
He's got a signed picture, right?
Signed picture of Ricky
Yeah.
Gervais right here, buddy.
I mean, he didn't start. He quit his job and
Cool.
then he started doing comedy.
I'm sorry, I got really stoked.
Yeah, he did research.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I'm just saying, like, he just quit his job and he's like, I'm gonna be a comedian, and he was like,
He was in a band.
40.
You know that, right?
Gervais?
Yeah, he was in an 80s
Oh,
wave band.
I think I saw
It was
that.
actually pretty dope. He looked like David Bowie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, when he was younger, he was not that bad looking.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ricky, I didn't mean that, But, he was pretty handsome back in the day.
Yeah.
He had the David Bowie look, is what I'm saying.
Oh, Ricky, you're so fine, you blow my mind.
Hey, Ricky. Hey, Ricky.
So you're watching this, Ricky.
Yeah, I hope he is. That'd be dope. I think this has been one of my favorite episodes so far, Dylan. We are so happy to have you. I was looking forward to this for a long time, and I know we couldn't do it earlier. So thank you for being patient and coming to this. Just coming to my home and being here and chilling. And I appreciate it.
Thank you for your humble hospitality.
Absolutely, bro. Thank you so
All right,
much.
Thank you.
So yeah, stay tuned. We'll release this in a couple of weeks, probably.
Oh, hopefully sooner than that.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
sooner than that. Sorry. And if it's okay with you, we'll have your music on there too.
Sure, yeah.
Cool, cool. Thank you very much. All right.
All right. See you, everybody.
Bye.